we gave them a deadline. After a week, they didn't answer. We announced the first strike, the second strike, the third strike, fourth strike, and it didn't stop, and will never stop actually now until we achieve what we want. Okay, so I'll start with a throwback, how all of this started. It started actually with a simple Facebook post on our Tunisian group. We have, as a Tunisian community in Greece, we have a Facebook group and we share like some things in this group. So since everybody have been expecting a salary raise in 2024, 2024 arrived and it was January already, and nothing happened. The salaries are still the same and the struggles are still the same. So people started asking questions, like saying some rumors about, I'm not sure if it's rumors or true, but they say that they raised the salaries of other departments, other languages, and we started talking about this in our Tunisian Facebook group. And then our friend Tarek Benzine, I think many of you already know him, so he published a post saying, okay, let's not care if they raise the salaries of other department or not, let's agree all of us they should raise our salaries and we should do something about it. It's time for us to move and request this and insist actually for this. Not only salary raise, but also like work benefits and other stuff. We created online petition, started to collect signatures. We collected like in the beginning almost 500 signatures. Then it went to 800, I think. Of course, everybody started to talk about this, and we said that we should find and search for a union here in Greece, because we know that in every country there is a union, and we wanted like a legal group to help us and support us during this. What should we do? What are the laws here in Greece? How can we like organize this? My friend Kozladina, she actually helped me and suggested SETEP, because it's the communication union in Greece. Tarek contacted them, we had a meeting. They actually were very surprised of the numbers of the signatures that we collected. They said that they are here since, I don't know, 2007 or something. But of course they didn't succeed doing much. They did some action in Teleperformance, but it was not like much. So we announced the meeting, and the participation in that meeting was very surprising, mostly and majority of Tunisian, but in that room, like, people didn't even find space in the meeting. And everybody like started suggesting and talking about the struggles, about the problems in Teleperformance, the contracts, the problem with the women that going on maternity leaves and they have issues or they don't find their job back, about the bonuses, about many things. Of course, we announced after that, we sent the email to the management saying our demands, the demands that were decided in that meeting about the contracts, the salary raise, the benefits, many things. The management, we met the management after that. They say they will think about it and get back to us. We said, give us at least a time. They said, we don't know, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 10 years, who knows. So, of course, they didn't answer. We gave them a deadline after a week. They didn't answer. We announced the first strike and it started like from the first strike. The participation also was very good. The second strike, the third strike, fourth strike, and it didn't stop and will never stop actually now until we achieve what we want.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
About the special purpose residence permit that most of the Tunisian or the North African, at least what I know, Algerian, Tunisian, Moroccan, when we come here we have this kind of residence permit. The thing that I really want to specify about this, that nobody knows about this before coming to Greece. Or mostly people doesn't even know about this kind of residence permit until we arrive here. Because, why we don't know? Because mostly Tunisians, at least in our case, we go to France or Italy or Germany for work, and there is no this kind of residence permit. There you just go, you take a residence, you renew it, and then you can apply for citizenship, and that's it. And you can work anywhere you want, in a restaurant, as a doctor, as a lawyer, you can work anywhere you want. Here, when I came, for example, Teleperformance asked me to authorize a lawyer to take care of all my papers, even before coming to Greece. So the authorization, I did it in the embassy, Greece embassy, even before I come to Greece. So this lawyer takes care of everything, our AMCA, our citizen, our residence permit, everything. And then after a long time, of course, of waiting, at least 6 months, you get a residence permit for a specific purpose. And I didn't understood it in the beginning until when you think about changing to another job, it says that this doesn't allow you. You can only work for contact centers, and not even all of them. Like some contact centers, like international companies that are open here in Greece, you can work for these companies as an agent. That's it. You cannot work elsewhere. For me, for example, I studied tourism my whole life. I worked in travel agency. I worked in many things. So my dream when I came to Greece, as Greece is very known with tourism, I was thinking about, of course, working in tourism after that. But until now, I don't have this opportunity. And even in the beginning, you cannot even change to another contact center until you have at least your first residence permit. Otherwise, if Teleperformance fires you before you get your residence permit, is a big problem. You have to go back to your country or pay a lawyer too much money to find a solution for your residence permit. So yeah, it's a kind of slavery, to be honest. It's a slavery because I brought you here, I paid for your visa, you will work for me and only for me. That's it. Otherwise you go back to your country or that's it. You don't have many choices. So after the beginning, of course, of this movement of the salary raise, better work condition, we also talked about the residence permit issue. And we did a few strikes in front of the Ministry of Immigration. And this actually gave good results, which is the cancellation of the residence permit of specific purpose. I even actually personally asked the lawyer, and she confirmed that this law or this kind of residence permit doesn't exist. The thing is that it's still not clear because it's still not, let's say, the details about this law is still not published. It takes some time, of course, to be published, so we don't know if it's temporary or if it's permanent. We don't know the condition. And even the people that applied before the cancellation, before April, will still have the residence permit of specific purpose. Like me, I applied in August 2023. I still didn't get my residence permit and it takes so long. And it's gonna be specific purpose again. So yeah, it's a good news, but for the people that will apply after April 2024. So, about the working condition in Teleperformance Greece. I know that many people hear about the best place to work, but actually it's not the case. At least from my personal experience, it's not the best place to work. And before you come here, before they bring you actually, if you are a foreigner from your country, they will build this image in your mind that it's the best working condition. You will be always like supported, surrounded with supervisors, you good people, trainers. We will be here for you. We will do everything like to make this experience abroad for you the best. But it's not the case. For example, I worked in Teleperformance in Tunisia and it was much better. At least because there was salary raise every year, there was some team building, some events. But the opposite in Teleperformance Greece, it's not the case. We don't have team buildings, we don't have events. After the COVID, everybody's working from home. You don't know your colleagues, you don't know your supervisors, you don't see their faces actually. You are working like with names, you know their names or pseudonames, and there's no human interaction. You feel like a robot. You wake up, you log in, you have like to deal with customers, angry, happy, very hard customers sometimes. You have to work on your KPIs, they have to be perfect, otherwise the supervisor will call you, the CCM will call you, the ACM will call you, and they will actually start the threat. If you don't work on your KPIs, you will be fired. And you get fired. Sometimes even without a warning. In the case of my friend, for example, he works with me and he was fired. They just called him after his vacation. Okay, you spent a good vacation, now welcome back. This is your last month. He said, seriously? Why? No, your KPI are not good. And they fired 3 agents before him the last month in the same team. So it's a team of 8 people. You cannot, it's insane actually to fire 4 out of 8 people in 2 months. So I'm not sure how they are taking the decision. I'm not sure if they think or they are aware that we have rent to pay, we have bills to pay, we have, of course, we have to eat, we have to survive. They fire you, they say, we will try to find you another project. You call the HR, there is no open projects. You stay unemployed. You don't have a salary, you don't have how to pay your bills or your rent or anything, and nobody cares. Seriously, nobody cares. So that's the working condition. I'm not sure if you can call this the best place to work. It's not for me. It's not the case. So, by means of collective agreement, we will negotiate with the company regarding pay, annual holidays, contracts, and other working benefits and terms that applies in the communication sectors in a way that differs from the law. So, this will allow us as employees to have something clear, because the contract that we signed with the company, everything in that contract is in the benefit of the employer, the company. There is nothing there in our benefit. And most of us, we receive the contract, it's 10 pages, sometimes even more. You don't get to read all of it, and even if you have actually the patience to read it, it's very hard to understand. And as I told you, there is nothing for the employee or in the benefit of the employee there. So it is very, very important to have a collective agreement now for us as employees to have something clear. How many hours I will work, the banking holidays, are they included or not? Are they considered as a day off or not? This is actually a big issue now, and with Teleperformance, about the mothers that go on maternity leave. There are actually many things that we have to discuss. The pay, the salary increase, the seniority of the people that have been working in Teleperformance for 6 years, 10 years and even more. It's very unfair for them to still have the same salary. So it is, I believe that it's the most important thing that we have to focus on, of course, after the election, and try to negotiate as much as possible with the company. And maybe even negotiate it every year to make it even better every year. So, as we know, one of the biggest achievements we have now is SETEP, the Teleperformance Union. Now we are, of course, I think more than 700 members, and it is increasing every day even more, because we are trying, of course, to share this with the majority of the employees. Now also we are working on the election, because we have a temporary board. Its role is to prepare for the election, and we are also working on the statute of the board, and we will ensure to work within the framework of democracy. We want all the decisions to be made during general assemblies, and the decision actually to be taken with everybody, all of us together. So, of course, the management is trying to minimize, of course, our movement or all of what is happening. In reality, they are freaking out, of course. They are so afraid of what's happening. Each time we announce a strike, they are trying to put people on day off. Specifically, there was actually even something published in our group about this, like about the people that are used to strike. They are calling us usual suspects. So I am one of the usual suspects, and usual suspects, they put them on day off, the day of the strike, to try, of course, to minimize the effect of the strike on the projects and on the production. They are trying to ignore our demands, because the temporary board of SETEP actually asked for access to official channels to communicate with employees, to inform them about the General Assembly, about all of what is happening in the union. We ask also for office, because it's our right to have an office in the company. They are trying to say, no, we cannot give the access because of GDPR and this kind of stuff. We will give you an office in Moshato. We will, but nothing is happening. They are trying to postpone in hope from them that this is going to kill the movement, but it is only making it stronger. Actually, one of the things that they have done lately, that they are telling to the agents, if you don't strike that day, because of course some other people will be striking, you can even work like overtime, and the hour overtime will be paid even double. So they are trying all their ways to make people work the day of the strike, because it is really hurting them so harsh on the production and with their clients, of course. Even some supervisors are trying to intimidate some agents with the threat of you will be fired, you will be downsized the first, we will not gonna renew your contract, you are not getting your bonus. Some because have the effect on their monitors the quality of the work, so they just give them zero, so they don't get their bonuses. So it's this kind of things that the management is doing now. They are just trying to kill the movement. So during the strike, actually, especially the first strikes, the participation was surprisingly good. It was massive compared actually to the idea that everybody had. Everybody was afraid of participating, but we thought that. But eventually everybody came, everybody like was screaming their demands. We was in front of Piraeus, the teleperformance company, and then we went to Syntagma also in front of the parliament, and we were all united, and there was also our colleagues from Webhelp and other contact centers, and it was very good. It was actually very good, and that actually makes us even more responsible and persistent on our goals and our demands.